Hello, everybody. My name is Ruqayya, and I am the founder of the Diva philosophy. And I would like to introduce you to my favorite portrait photographer for branding and also for family as well. You told me last time that you do family as well. So I'm going to introduce you to Amanda Clarke.
Hi, Ruqayya.
How are you today?
Very well, thank you. Very good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Had a very restful weekend after obviously Friday's fiascos all over the Brexit issues. But today I'm aligned to my soul. I know exactly what my values are, and I can't wait to share what your passions and your clarity is to help us with our photo shoots, what your passion is, why you run a business. I just want to get to know you as a person and to share your expertise, because I'll tell you now, and I'm going to share with you later, guys, is that I actually hate having my photograph taken. It's one of the worst things for me because I'm so self-conscious and have so many, I suppose, self-esteem issues still lurking underneath all of this. But she made me feel absolutely wonderful. So, Amanda, tell me,
Hi.
what is it that caught your eye about doing photography? What is it that actually inspired you to make it a business?
Well, I originally started photography when I was young. I was only 18 at the time when I studied it at college, but it was a very different animal then. Photography was so different then, with film and being in the dark room. And the thing that I love about photography is working with different people, and it's not that gritty chemicals and the side of it that so many people enjoy. That really wasn't what I enjoyed. So although I studied photography when I was younger, I took a break from it. I spent a lot of time behind the camera while bringing up my family. I was always the one, it's always a bit of a running joke in my family because I always got a camera in my hand. They all laugh at me, but that's okay. And it wasn't until I moved to America, we moved there in 2007.
Okay.
And actually, it was early 2008, we moved to Texas in the United States. And that is when I rediscovered my passion for photography.
So if I'm looking at, what did you say, Texas in the United States?
Yeah.
What is it about Texas? Was it the environment? Was it the people you met? Was it just, what inspired you to get back into photography?
Well, I would say it's a combination of things. The first one was very much, while I was there is very much a can-do attitude. So
okay.
There aren't the limitations that we sometimes feel, that I'd felt while I was here. I didn't feel those limitations on myself there. There's more of an attitude that if you want to do something, go and do it. So I started taking photographs after I bought my first digital SLR camera. So once I bought that camera, a whole new world of photography opened up to me. So that's really when I started out on my journey as a professional photographer.
So it was mainly the digital revolution.
Yes. Yeah.
So that digital revolution inspired your creativity, or was it just that you've got more freedom to experiment? What is it particularly about the digital work that sort of like inspired you to create that change?
So there's two things there. With the digital work, there was suddenly much more freedom and much more ability to work creatively with the images. There'd also been huge leaps since I was in photography many years ago, in the programs, the editing programs, and the programs that you could use to manipulate raw images as well. So there were so many different things that you could do to the images that weren't available to you in the early days. I know Photoshop had evolved over a period of time, but when I was originally studying, we weren't using Photoshop at that time. And things like Photoshop and other ways of being able to change the look of the image, give a certain feel to it. That creativity, along with immediately being able to see the images on the back of the camera, that was a huge thing for me, not having to wait for that film to be developed and wondering how many of the 24 or the 36 exposures were going to be any good. So just being able to see the images right there and then was amazing for me.
So have you got any kind of idols or icons or any kind of person that has actually inspired you to be more creative in your photography? Has there been that one person in your life that's said, you can do this, you can run with this?
There were several people, actually. When I first started out in photography in America, my son's friend, her mother is a photographer, and I went one day to her house. We were talking about photography and how I was interested and how I loved her work. And she said, bring the children, come, we'll go in the field behind the house, we'll take some images. And I still have those original images on my page that we went and took that day. So that was really, really pivotal moment for me to get someone to help me and mentor me. Then I also have a friend called Kirsty. She's a brilliant photographer in Canada, and she spent some time with me, helping me on various aspects of photography, and giving me sort of really good hints and tricks. And then I've worked a lot on Creative Live, the different tutorials that they do there. There's so many amazing things that you can learn through online tutorials now. Again, the digital revolution has made that so much easier for people. And one of the people that I found through Creative Live is called Sue Bryce.
Okay.
And I love her work, and I was lucky enough to be able to go meet her in person and attend her workshop in France this year. So that was really big for me.
Right, can I just stop you there? What is Creative Live? I've never heard of it.
Okay, so you don't know.
No, I haven't got a clue.
Live is an amazing video. There are so many videos on there. So I suppose it's like Udemy or
okay.
There are hundreds, probably thousands of videos on all different aspects of all different types of photography, all types of business. Amazing. You have to check it out.
I will do. I just never heard of it before.
Ah.
Now I want to. Yeah. Well, do you know what? I mean, I can't be the only person that doesn't know everything about videoing and photography. I mean, as I said before, I know nothing about. I actually shy away from actual photography. It's only been last year and this year that I actually feel confident to get in front of a camera. Do you know what I mean? I spent years of my life just believing that I was not photogenic, so I just avoided it totally. But I'm sure you get loads of people like that coming into one of your sessions, really, when you booked on, you know, they're a bit nervous or a bit self-conscious.
The vast majority of people that come in are all nervous. There are very, very few people that come and just immediately comfortable in front of the camera. So I am very, very guilty of that, because I'm probably one of the most nervous people on the other side of the camera.
Because I know that when I have to tell everybody this, because when I went, when I was about a couple of months ago, I booked one of your home workshop sessions, or what was it called, that little session I booked?
That was a headshot day when you came.
Yeah, that's it. And I spent about 4 or 5 hours, couldn't make out what I was going to wear. I didn't know what kind of, what to, I must admit, the only thing I did have was have my hair cut, because basically, and then when I came in, I was all flastered and flustered. And I have to say, one of Amanda's key talents, her pure genius, is actually putting you at ease in front of the camera.
Thank you.
I mean, being a larger woman, I know I shouldn't really bring this. I'm only just beginning to embody my vivaciousness, and who I am. So actually, when you were showing me some of the images that you were taking, I actually thought, oh my God, I don't look half bad. and I think it's that nature that you have, not only to put us at our ease, not only to guide us and direct us in the shoot as well, but also by showing us actually how natural and how, I don't know, you just took an aspect of, you know, a glint in an eye, and it's like, oh yeah, that's what I normally do. Do you know what I mean? So she, I must admit, if anybody wants a portrait or a branding photographer, I'm going to recommend her big time. So that is a skill set that I have to praise you for, because for me, I try and avoid camera work or video work. I'm only just beginning to get that self-confidence to do so.
So thinking about Creative Live, it isn't just for photography, or there's all sorts of courses on there and all different topics, but anything that you watch live is free. So it's everything that goes out live is free while it's live. But then if you want to go back and buy the recording, you can, or if you can't be there for the live time of the slot that you wanted, you can buy the class, basically.
Now, I want to go back a step, because you said something about going to France, and you spent some time with one of your, can I call her an icon or an idol or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about her and what impact that she's had on your evolution as a photographer.
I've been following Sue Bryce for a couple of years now. I'm not exactly sure how many years, but she has done many workshops on Creative Live. She offers amazing support for photographers in all aspects of their business, along with she has a membership site and various different things. But she, I don't know, she seems to just take it to the next level. She's always on social media. She's always sharing her latest tricks and what she's doing and showing you how. She's just so very giving in what she does, and that's what I've really enjoyed about having her as someone to look up to. She encourages us in business, in ways to run the business. Just so many things that make her inspirational, and she's an absolutely amazing speaker. Just being in the room with her and seeing her speak, she's coming to England next year to the Society of Wedding and Portrait Photographers, and I've already booked to go and see her there because I can't wait to see her again.
So how has this impacted your business or your creativity or your inspiration? In what way? What have you brought to the table in your own business from her?
I think that she's probably given me more confidence in what I do and the importance of it, really. How special. I think I've spoken to you before about creating my 4 generations family portrait, as well as working for businesses. I'm also working in, taking beautiful images for families, and just being able to capture that 4 generations in my family. I was so amazed with how special that was, and the response that I got from when that image was shared. It's a very special gift to be able to share with people, to be a photographer. So I think that's the main thing, really, just realizing that what we do is something really quite special.
And I've really and truly, you said to me before, I said, I don't really know what my why is, but don't you think that is your why? Creating an experience and creating a special memory, or creating that moment.
So I think that's what I do, and we're creating moments all the time with beautiful images, and I think capturing that is something so special to me. But I think sometimes when it's what you do, it's difficult to see. When it's what you do every day, it's difficult to see. Is that my why? If that makes sense.
You know what? I'm a great believer when we look at our why we do something. It's not what we do, it's how it makes us feel when we're doing it.
Yeah.
And if it makes you feel sort of like loved or inspired or creative, or we have an emotional connection to what we're doing.
Yes.
I believe that's our why, because I'm a great believer that, if I was in your shoes, just to be able to take a beautiful picture of my daughter and for her to go, wow. And I'm thinking, oh, yes, you know, that kind of feel.
Yeah.
That would be my why. You know, I've made someone happy, or I've made someone see something of themselves that they've never seen before, or I have made, you know, I think we spoke before about how you know, because obviously you've taken, you know, Charles Wasman's imagery that, you know, it's gorgeous, and you've taken Janie Lee, you know, I mean, it's just, and they're using it on their books and their websites and their cover, you know, social media, you know, all of their marketing PR stuff, and you must, when you look at it, you must think, oh, it's my work.
Yeah,
Don't you?
I do. Often people will share something that maybe they've had in the press, or I see something that's got one of my images on online, and yes, it always gives me a little smile.
Well, that's your why. It's that, that's great. I love it. Oh, you know, because they wouldn't use those images unless they were really good. They wouldn't use those images unless it was a true reflection of themselves.
Yes, yeah.
You know, they wouldn't use those images. Well, I certainly haven't used. I mean, the images are plastered all over my website. I'm doing it at the moment, and I'm thinking, okay, you know, and I need to purchase a couple of more that I want done. You know, so I'm just looking at, you know, how everything is evolving for me. But it's your images that have inspired me to create my own branding, and I think that's part of being a very good photographer, that it inspires your brand in a way. Do you know what I'm saying?
I had a client that totally rebranded everything that they had after they got their images. I don't know if that's the usual way around to do it. I know that quite often you have your brand and then you create your images to be in line with it. But I have had clients before that have come and had their images and then they've recreated a new brand on those. So yes, I can see that happens.
So basically, we've got to the point what your why is now. Tell me what it is that you're doing at the moment in your business, because you know it isn't just about branding photography. You said you're a, you know, a personal portrait photographer as well. So is it that you're just allowing things to grow organically, or are you looking at specific areas of your life to evolve your business in at the moment?
So I was thinking at the moment that I'm coming up to two years in my business full time. Will be next week, in fact.
Woo-hoo.
And
Celebration.
yeah, I know.
I've been in business for 14 years. I had to count in March when I was thinking, how many years have I been in business for? I've got my fingers out to try to remember. 14. I can't believe it. Anyway, time flies by. Carry on.
So it's, as I said, it is still evolving. It's still a new business. It's still evolving, but I am predominantly working on portraits, both personal and business portraits. There's nothing more special than me than catching a glint in someone's eye, and also personal branding work, which I really love, to spend a bit more time with someone and really get to tell a story of them in, you know, in either in their own surroundings or places they love to be. So I go all over to do that. So they're the two main areas. So it's sort of the portrait work and personal branding.
I like the idea of the storytelling from a photography perspective. So I presume you can go into their workplaces and then you can go into their home, and so you start to build a greater feeling of who that authentic person is, or a true reflection of who they are.
And is
that what you mean by storytelling?
Now, with the web and where people are coming to look at people's websites, if they can get a real feel for that person from the images on their website, that's going to be a real advantage.
Okay. So it is really, your photography is not just from, you know, your why of making people happy. It is about making sure that their business is aligned to their brand and aligned to their true reflection, or their authenticity in a way.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask now, how do people get hold of you then, if they want their own personal or business portrait?
Okay. Well,
going to be a Renaissance artist, but you know what I mean.
I have a Facebook page, which is Amanda Clarke Photography.
Mhm.
I'm on Twitter at AC Portraits. And I also have a website, amandaclarke.com.
Okay, so I know for a fact that I would recommend Amanda for your portraits, and I'm planning on getting. I was just speaking to her before this. I am planning on coming back to Amanda because my daughter's 18 this year, and I want to have a mother and daughter session. You know, and I think that'd be quite nice, something personal. You know.
That would be beautiful and lots of fun.
You know, and my daughter is quite photogenic, but she's also into photography, so I think it would be a good experience for her to expose her to this another opportunity. And from a business point of view, I was talking to my daughter the other day about the importance of photography because she was saying to me, I'm doing my A-level in photography, but what am I going to do with it? And I said, well, you're doing maths and you're doing business studies. What do you mean, what you're going to do with it? She said, I don't know how to bring everything together. And I said, well, you don't need to bring everything together in this moment, Sarina. I said, but if you look at business and you look at social media, everything is about imagery, videography. And, you know, this is a skill set that is such for all of us to experiment with, I suppose, really. So, you know, and all of us to try and figure out how to use, you know, we can go off and pay 400 quid on a, what do you call it, a DSLR?
Yeah, DSLR, yeah.
Yes. I wasn't too sure how to say it, you know, this camera, I think my daughter's got a Canon, but I ain't got a clue. So, yeah, how to use it. And, you know, you taught me about lighting the other day, you know. I didn't know anything about lighting, you know, but it does make a difference, doesn't it?
It does, definitely.
And another thing I was going to say is from a business point of view now, what is your hot tip? That's what I was going to ask. What is your hot tip for a person? They've just booked a session with you, yeah?
Yes.
Right? What is the hot tip and how they can be prepared to come to you for that portrait photo shoot?
I would say the hot tip is if you have got a photo shoot booked with someone, take some time and get to speak to the photographer, have a call with them, find out what they suggest you bring, talk to them, if you have a stylist. Some people work with a stylist beforehand. If you have a stylist, you can talk to them about what you might wear for the shoot. If you don't, you can talk to the photographer. But nice fabrics, quite often plain things come out well, particularly if it's for a headshot. Sort of a plain shirt or a plain top comes out quite well because then the focus is definitely on the face rather than being drawn away by the top or the outfit. So I would say definitely speak to your photographer and, you know, get familiar with them. And I would say definitely get to know them, because the more you're comfortable and the more you get to know them, the easier it will be when you're together, working together.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm going to cut it there now. Just remember that, you know, she's on Amanda Clarke Photography Facebook page, and I would recommend her totally. I mean, for a woman who doesn't like a picture taken, she actually got the best out of me, and I really, really appreciate it, and I honour your talent totally. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ruqayya. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Okay. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.